Listen, for me, I date to marry. If someone is with me and plays those games that, oh, I don't want to get married, I'm out because I'm not going to have someone's children in the future without being married.
And as far as dudes, you should never get married. There's no benefit for a man to get married. Instead, it benefits the woman more, so there's really no point.
So I came across this discussion where a group of women and one guy were talking about marriage. And honestly, the way they framed it says a lot about how people think of marriage today. It's interesting because what used to be about love and family has turned into a legal transaction where men end up carrying most of the risk. Let's just go through it. You'll see exactly what I mean.
All right, Goldie, you're hearing all this. I'm sure you know the ladies that we talked about. You heard the ladies respond. What's your advice to men these days? You see these women advocating for divorce. You coach a lot of men. You know, you said, I'm married to the game, right? So what's your advice for the average dude out there that's looking to have a pretty woman in his life? Should he get married? Should he never get married? How do you raise kids? What's your best approach?
Well, one, I say to that lady who was talking, misery loves company. So, nobody wants to be single and divorced by themselves.
Exactly.
And as far as dudes, you should never get married. There's no benefit to a man to get married. If you can tell me one, you can tell me one. If one of these ladies wants to give me a benefit for the man, but there's no benefit for a man to get married. Instead, it benefits the woman more, so there's really no point. Marriage is what a made-up idea, so I don't need the government and a piece of paper to make you not leave me. You could leave me, you could cheat on me regardless of this paper, so why do we need it? So if you leave, you could take half of what I have. So it's really just not a smart business decision.
So
this is exactly the point most people avoid. Ask anyone, what's the actual benefit to a man in marriage today? You'll hear about love, stability, family, but those exist without government paperwork. You can love, commit, and raise kids without ever signing a piece of paper. The truth is, marriage today doesn't protect love. It protects the state's interest in your relationship. It gives the government oversight over your assets, enforces financial obligations like alimony and child support, and ensures that even if one side fails, the system still collects what it can. And men are the ones who carry almost all the risk. Lose a job, end a marriage, have kids. Suddenly, you're legally responsible for decades of support, even if the relationship collapses. Half your assets, long-term custody battles, years of effort, all potentially taken out of your hands. So the question isn't romantic anymore. It's a simple cost-benefit calculation. What rational incentive does a man have to marry in today's system? Practically none. The risks far outweigh any symbolic reward.
where do you factor in prenups, paperwork, arrangements, right? Because you're 24 years old, right? You got married, you're how old?
23.
23. You got engaged, almost married when you were 19.
They're useless.
You don't have any money. You ain't got shit going on.
Yeah.
You think, oh, what are you gonna take half of my fucking snack pack over here? Like, I don't have anything. So this is what I say for most men, like at this point in my life, if I ever get married, because I was engaged for a long time, had a prenup, thank God. If I ever get married again, believe me, I got too much to lose at this point. But when you're, that's why I tell people, guys should wait their time and women should prioritize their time and maximize their time. But for young men out there, do you just say, don't ever get married? Even older men? Like, is it across the board? Is it a blanket statement?
If you have nothing to get taken from you, then yeah, go ahead, get married. But if you have something worth losing, no, don't get married.
And of course, the classic answer pops up. Just get a prenup. Sure, a prenup can help a little, but it's not some magic shield. Judges can throw it out if they think it's unfair, especially when kids are involved. And in a lot of states, the court can still hand out spousal support no matter what. So pretending a prenup is a foolproof solution? That's just naive. Or straight up dishonest. But here's the bigger problem. People look at their life right now and say, well, I've got nothing to lose, so why not get married? That's short-sighted. Life changes. You might be broke at 24, but 10, 15 years down the line, you could be making real money, building a business, owning property. And suddenly, that safe marriage becomes a legal and financial trap. Marriage today isn't like it used to be, when benefits were more balanced. The system now is set up so men take the bulk of the risk, So really, what does a man actually gain from marriage that he wouldn't already get without the government getting involved? The answer, honestly? Not much. All the emotional and family stuff, love, raising kids, stability, none of that requires signing away your rights and putting yourself in a vulnerable legal position.
Do you advocate also not living with women then?
Not what?
Not living with women.
No, I don't not advocate that. You could live with a woman.
So can you live with a woman for like 3 years but just not marry her?
You could live with a woman
But
for 20
then
years.
she's entitled to everything that she would be in a marriage.
In what state?
Most states.
Not all states.
What
Almost
about
all
kids,
of them.
like legally?
That's a lie. She's making it sound like just living together automatically makes you legally married, and that's just false. Common law marriage isn't recognized everywhere. In fact, it's only recognized in around 8 or 9 states, places like Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Montana, and a few others with limited recognition. And even in those states, it's not about the number of years. There's no 3-year rule, no 7-year rule, none of that. That's a myth. You actually have to present yourselves publicly as married, call each other husband and wife, file taxes together, share finances, that kind of thing. Just living together for years doesn't cut it. And this is where it gets irritating. She says it so confidently, like it's universal law. This is what a lot of people do. They speak with authority on something they clearly haven't researched, and that's how misinformation spreads. The truth is, even if you never get married, the system still tries to pull you into the same trap, through things like cohabitation laws, shared assets, and child support rules. So when someone says, oh, you'll still lose your stuff, that's just them repeating what they've heard, not what's legally true.
After 7 years.
Yeah, I don't think that's every state, though.
Well, he's saying to keep it pure, like as long as you don't have a contract saying that if one of us screws this up, we get something out of it, or I can tank you, then you know at least your love is genuine because I can leave whenever I want, right?
Yeah,
It's almost like a business.
But you
fund
can get
for
a contract to avoid that. It's called a prenup.
But if you
get a
live
contract
together,
to set it up
that
so that
even
even
so
if you're
on
married
too.
with somebody
So then what would
and
be
then
the
you
point?
leave, the contract says you leave with what you came with.
So what was the benefit of us getting married?
Well, it was a benefit in the sense that you're making a commitment to this person and you decide to go to the extreme of signing documents and putting money into it and having this whole experience and having a family and building and so on and so forth.
That right there is emotional language dressed up as love. It's the kind of manipulation a lot of modern women use to guilt men into signing their lives away. She's trying to make it sound like commitment and paperwork are the same thing, but they're not. Real commitment isn't about a piece of paper. It's about showing up every day, being loyal, being consistent. That's something you prove through actions, not a government contract. And this is exactly how they trap guys. They'll say, if you really love me, you'll marry me. When what that actually means is, give me legal leverage over you. Because the second that contract is signed, she doesn't even have to love you anymore. The law still guarantees her the benefits whether she stays or walks away. If commitment needs government enforcement to hold it together, that's not love. That's control. You can build a life with someone, have kids, be loyal, love them with everything you've got, without handing over legal ownership of yourself. But women like this keep pretending the contract is the love. And that's the lie a lot of men are still falling for.
That you can protect yourself by making that. It's just like any type of investment you make. You get insurance.
Well, let me ask you guys this last question. So I hear you. Like, men, especially since a lot of podcasts like this have popped up, these conversations happen, and I'm friends with a lot of the guys that do this, they say, listen, why? It makes no sense for a guy, especially a successful guy, right? You know, I have a lot of buddies that are married, successful guys. Now they've been married 10 years. They got married in their early 30s. They're in their early 40s now. We're starting to see some divorces start to occur. It's not so much the great divorce, but it's starting to occur, right? Got it. But you know, they say it takes two to tango, that whole deal. I totally understand where you're coming from, especially if you have too much to lose. But I want to understand from the ladies, you're dating a guy. It's been 2 years, 3 years, whatever. You're 26, 24, 28, 32, whatever. It's time to get married, right? You said you're 29, 27. All right. You're dating a guy. You don't have the marriage conversation the first day. We get it. You're dating. And you want to have that conversation. He goes, look, baby, I love you. All right? I want to be with you. I want to spend my time with you. I want to have kids with you. I want to have a family with you. I just can't do the government marriage thing. I'll marry you in a courthouse. I'm not in a courthouse. I'll marry you in a church, in a temple, in a mosque. We'll go to the beach. We'll go away. We'll do a destination. I can't. I have too much to lose. I would love to be with you forever. I can't do it. I want to be with you. I just can't actually do the paperwork. What would you say?
I'm fine with that. If we have the whole lifestyle, like living together with kids and a party to celebrate our love, and it's pure like that, I'm totally fine with that. I'm not dependent on a man really for like anything financial. I can take care of myself. So if we're like naturally and organically coming together, I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah,
lifestyle.
but that's easy to say when you don't have kids, sweetheart. Of course, when you pop out 2-3 kids, you're not going to be like, listen, I don't need a man. I can take care of myself. No. You're literally going to be taking care of the kids.
Well, we'll
Yeah,
have,
I'd say
I would
absolutely
assume
not.
another like kind of agreement that we're 50-50 responsible for the children's
Okay, so there
well-being,
is an
but-
agreement now.
Yeah, but we're not talking about a marriage contract, right?
Okay.
Right, so I'm okay
I'm
with
asking
the
you
not,
guys
no,
what would work in
yeah,
that.
Absolutely not. If
What were
I'm
you gonna
having
say?
children,
I don't know. If you've been common law for 3 years, you're basically entitled to anything that a married woman is. So if a guy was
Is
like,
that actually fact, though?
Yes.
Common law,
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
entitled to anything?
Careful now.
basically, yeah, everything. It's
been like 3 weeks,
You're
relax.
entitled to alimony as well. You're also entitled to child.
On what state?
Most states. I think you'd have to find me a state
Okay,
that doesn't have that.
Malik,
fact
we're going
check
to
that.
need
I
to
think New
Google
York
that
is
real quick. So common law marriage kicks in if you're living together for 3 years?
I thought it was
It
7.
depends on the
I've heard
state.
7.
Yeah, I think
thought it
So
was
some
10.
states
I've
are
heard
It does
7.
depend on the state. I
Wait,
know
then
New
I need
York
to go
is
back in
7.
time if
Yeah.
that's the case. Because
Some states are 2, some are 3,
relationship.
some are
Married 3
5,
years.
and some are like it's all. But the
So
basically what I'm
common
saying.
Here we go again, talking like she's a legal expert. And that's not even true. Only a handful of states even recognize common law marriage, and there's no 3-year rule. Like I said earlier, it's not just about living together. You actually have to prove intent, like publicly acting as a married couple. Yet she's out here saying it like it's a universal law. And what really pisses me off is how confident she is while being dead wrong. This is the type of person who never looks anything up, never check a single fact, but argue like she's a legal scholar.
Is I'd say
We got to look into this,
Yeah.
Goldie.
Yeah, fact check
I'd
that.
tell
What you
them
know
to look
about
into the
this? Kate, you're with some dude. You're together a couple years. I love you, baby. Let's do this as a family. You just can't get married to the government. What would you say?
I would say, like, no, I'd leave because I think that,
You said you would leave?
yeah, because to me it's I think that when you go into a marriage and you're agreeing to make that commitment to each other, like, there's a matter of, like, trust that you have within the relationship and the bond that, like, you're creating. And if you're going to go into that and you have to have, like, a backup plan for yourself or, like, a safety net, then you're already expecting it to fail. You're not completely invested in the marriage or the relationship in general. Like, you're already anticipating that it's not going to work out. So why would I go into it with you if you're not planning that it's going to work out and you're not trusting that we're going to work it out and be together?
Let me
Like,
ask you something. You
What?
bring up a good point. You drive a car?
I do.
What kind of car?
It's a Honda.
That a girl? What kind of car insurance you got?
It like all the insurance on the, I don't know, it's
You
all
got car
state.
insurance?
I do.
Okay. You're a pretty healthy girl, right?
I think so.
Okay. What kind of health insurance you got?
It's my mom's.
Okay, but you have health insurance.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So even though you're healthy, you have health insurance.
Okay.
Even though you have a car, you've never in a car accident, you have car insurance.
Yes.
What if I were to tell you that the prenup is just divorce insurance?
No, I get the concept behind it 100%. Like I understand like the logic of like you need to protect yourself and everything, but I just don't think in my particular situation I would feel comfortable then going into that, like having kids, raising a whole family and doing all of these things with someone if I felt like in the back of their mind there was still a piece where they like felt like they had to like have an escape route.
What happens
or,
if there was an agreement? Like, look,
This is pure manipulation. She acts like a prenup is a personal attack or proof the relationship will fail. But let's flip it. Not having a prenup is her safety net. It's not about trust. It's a legal opportunity to gain leverage over the man if things go sideways. Think about it like this. Imagine getting in a car and someone says, "Don't wear a seatbelt. If you do, it means you don't trust me." Ridiculous, right? A seatbelt protects you, just like a prenup protects your assets. Refusing it as a test of love is the same kind of absurdity. But I don't even blame her entirely. Men let this happen. The moment she threatens to leave if you want her to sign a prenup, most guys cave. They pedestalize her, chase validation, and reward the manipulation. If men actually used logic and set boundaries, this behavior wouldn't fly for a second. Bottom line, protecting yourself legally doesn't make you untrusting. Pretending a prenup is a lack of commitment? That's manipulation, and it's exactly how men end up losing everything.
You're gonna get a push present for every kid, for every year that we stay divorced. I'm sorry,
like a Birkin per kid?
For every year that we're married, you're gonna get X amount. I'm not gonna leave you high and dry.
But then what's the difference between...
I just don't want a court or the government telling us what we need to do. I want us to tell us what we need to do. And here's the paperwork, and we're gonna figure this out. And if somebody cheats, we'll figure it out. But I don't need the magistrate up in Dade County telling me what to do. Is that something you'd be open to?
It'd be a conversation, but initially I'm like grabbing the keys, packing the bags, like, all right, have a great life. But, you know, it takes some convincing.
Angela, a man, he loves you very much. He says, listen, I don't want to marry you, but I'll marry you. What do you say this?
Listen, for me, I date to marry. And prenup is another thing. Like, I've dated millionaires in the past, and I was always upfront with the idea of I don't care about prenup, because if I don't have as much as the guy I'm dating, and he's already built his empire alone and he has all that money and he wants a prenup, that's perfectly fine, because I don't want to take anything away from a man who got to that point in his life before even meeting me, right? So prenup is one thing. Like, I can get married with a prenup and that's fine. But if someone is with me and plays those games that, oh, I don't want to get married, I'm out, because I'm not going to have someone's children in the future without being married. That's
Gotcha.
it.
So
Look, she makes it sound all reasonable. I don't want his money, prenup's fine. Sounds good on the surface, right? But here's the thing. Prenups can still get challenged or thrown out, even if you agreed to them up front. Just look at Tyrese. His ex reportedly tried to get their prenup invalidated, even though she said she didn't want his money when they were dating. That's the reality men face. Guys, don't fall for the charm or the guilt. Don't assume a simple, I'm fine with a prenup, protects you. Set your boundaries, make sure agreements are solid, and don't cave the moment someone threatens to leave. Once you give someone legal leverage, they can exploit it. Stay smart.
you have yes to a marriage, yes to a, you need to get married. You said you
Get a prenup, of course.
you're doing the prenup.
Of course, get a prenup.
I'm fine with the prenup.
You didn't need
as
it.
well. Yeah.
What did you say?
As long as I get an engagement ring, a wedding ring, and a destination location wedding, we call each other husband and wife, then I'm fine. We don't need actually to get married with the courthouse.
As long as I get this, and this, I don't need to
I want
get
a big
married.
ring.
Still wants to be trophy wife.
How about you, Lydia?
Yeah, so my end goal for marriage is to have children, so I'm not getting into a marriage unless we're signing contracts and going to be legally married on paper. Because again, I want to have children, I need that security, so when I do get pregnant and I can't work for months on end, and even afterwards, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm secure in my marriage, we're good, he's working, I can take care of the children.
So you're saying, so what did you say you would agree to or not agree
So
to?
no, like we have to be married on paper.
Okay, but I guess the question here is, who's not willing to sign a prenup?
Oh no, I'll sign a prenup.
You'll sign the
but
prenup.
it protects both parties.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because we want to know what's real on both sides. That's why the prenup's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to protect
enough.
both parties.
Final thoughts.
I agree with everything that Angela said. I think that I'm dating to marry, and that's what my intentions are. And I'm completely fine with signing a prenup because it just wouldn't really be
So
valid.
just show of hands real quick, just so I can see who full on needs to get married. You know, court involved. I need to see, like, it needs to be legit for sure.
But let's be
Put your hands
honest.
down. Who's willing to say we're married, we're together, but it's not like at a full-on courthouse, the government is not involved?
Because then you're just like waiting for it
Blondes
to
have
fail.
more fun. There it is.
I don't trust the government, so.
There it is. Find someone that doesn't trust the government.
And that's where it ends. The whole discussion comes full circle. After all that back and forth, nobody actually answered the main question. What's the benefit to men? The truth is, modern marriage is a system where men take all the risk and the state takes all the control. Until that changes, Avoiding legal marriage isn't cynicism. It's self-preservation. And let me know in the comments, can you name one real benefit a man gets from marriage today? If you liked this breakdown, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss future reactions.